And so they all, anyway, we're not going to do that to you anymore.
A bunch of old men talking.
So, but we will have, sometimes there are parties and sometimes people get together at the Hyatt now that it's closer and have a drink afterwards and talk to each other. But we know that sleep is important, and the older I get, the more important I realize it is. So I have to sleep too. So the other thing that's important to me at Ebertfest, and the reason we have our festival director, Nate Cohn, and our festival coordinator, Andrew Michael Hall, Andy, is family and community mean a great deal to us here. I know that may seem like a corny Midwestern idea, but gosh darn it, we're from the Midwest, why not? And today, what we're doing is celebrating the birthday of someone who's like family, because he's been here helping us for so many years. His daughters were on stage here. I met one of his daughters in Cannes at the film festival, and we hung out there. He's been a very good host, carrying people around from the airport to the theater and doing everything for years. And today is Ray Elliott's birthday, and I'd like for him to stand. Ray Elliott. And we're going to sing happy birthday to you. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ray. Woo! Happy birthday to you. Oh! Oh my God, now I am so jealous. Do you realize you had the Renee Baker and the Chicago Modern Orchestra playing for your birthday? So, thank you for helping me. And the other reason that I was happy to sing happy birthday to Ray is he's a lot older than I am, so we have this thing going, this competition going. But happy birthday, Ray. How old are you, Ray? Well, I don't know if this is true. On social media, I saw that you're 82. Woo! All right. This morning, we also have with us, before we get to the main event, we have with us some people I'm very, very proud of. First of all, I'm going to bring out their mentor, Michael Phillips, because he's headed the Ebert Fellows program, and I want to introduce 3 of our newest Ebert Fellows to you. But first, let's welcome Michael Phillips.
Thank you so much. Hey folks, I'm here today as a devoted fan of Ebertfest and the advisor mentor of the U of I College of Media Roger Ebert Fellowship in Arts Criticism. Every year, the College of Media awards 3 students with an interest in film and the culture that's constantly morphing around us with this fellowship, and it's a pleasure every year for very different reasons. I get together with the students here in Champaign-Urbana and also up in Chicago, and we write up and talk about film. We work with Shatterglass Studios, who does the outfit that does such amazing work here to hone communication skills. Yes, Shatterglass. And we hone communication skills on camera with the fellows, and we meet with journalists who've graduated from the U of I and elsewhere, now working up in Chicago, Chicago Public Media, Axios, Chicago, all over the place. This year, also in between Omicron surges, I traveled with the fellows down to Columbia, Missouri for the True False Documentary Film Festival, and that's a trip we made the very first year of the fellowship, 7 years ago now. Thank you for that. It's very, very, very good to be back here in the Virginia Theater, isn't it? My God. And I'm just pleased to be a part of Ebertfest again and part of this fellowship every year. And I hope the fellowship continues to thrive and expand under the Ebert Center here at the university. Now, as the man introducing Mr. Memory in Hitchcock's 39 Steps says, with your kind attention and permission, it's my pleasure to introduce Zeke Alice, Sulema Herrera, and Michelle Hussein, the 2021, over this way. These are the 2021-2022 Roger Ebert Fellows from the University of Illinois College of Media. How's my hair?
We need eyelashes.
And eyebrows, but that's another story. All right, thanks all.
So it's important to us not only to have the film festival, but to leave something every year as sort of a lasting legacy for the students here at the University of Illinois. And we felt that the Ebert Fellowship Program was one of the ways to do it. And now that we have the Ebert Center, they will become part of that. So it will go on. So if any of you in your hearts or in your wallets feel like you want to make a donation to the Ebert Center, you can do it through the University of Illinois. Thank you. That's the only solicitation. Well, also, and if we have merch in the East Lobby, of course. All right. This morning, we are so pleased to welcome back Renee Baker and the Chicago Modern Orchestra. Renee Baker is the founding music director and conductor of the internationally acclaimed Chicago Modern Orchestra Project, a polystylistic organization that grew from the plums of classical music as well as jazz. She has composed over 2,000 works for ensembles, ranging from pieces for instrumental solos, ballet, and opera, to large orchestral works that bridge the classical, jazz, and creative music genres. As a disruptive force in composition, she has created a gestured conducting language she calls CCL Flow, Cipher Conduit Linguistics, which she has employed when working with numerous cutting-edge groups in Cologne, Berlin, Netherlands, London, Chicago, Portland, Oregon, and other international ensembles. So, first of all, a hand for Renee Baker and the Chicago Modern Orchestra. We're very fortunate that this theater still has an orchestra pit, but it's tight, so we know that you're really making do down there. Thank you. We appreciate it. And today, our film is one that we chose, The Sirens of the Tropics, excuse me, because Josephine Baker, more than 34 years after her death, or 46 years, I forget which number it is, after her death, was just last year conducted into the French Pantheon, which is the highest honor that can be paid to anyone in France. And the honor for her was triple because she was the first Black woman to be conducted into the French Pantheon and the first American-born woman, or the first American-born person, period, to be inducted into the French Pantheon. And her ceremony was presided over by French President Emmanuel Macron. So we thought Ms. Baker, they had a nice composition for Siren of the Tropics, and that's what we chose. And to introduce the film itself is Dr. Douglas Arnell Williams. He's a past Fulbright scholar who's earned a PhD in landscape architecture from the University of Illinois, where he was also a postdoctoral research associate in the College of Applied Health Sciences. Actually, it goes on and on because he was also the College of Fine and Applied Arts alumnus and member of the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, Moving Picture Technicians, Artists and Allied Crafts of the United States. He's a volunteer at the Cranard Center and a member of the Saints, Volunteers for the Performing Arts. And you actually may have seen him recently on television in the trial of the Chicago 7, to as recently a core member of season 7 of NBC's Chicago Med. So, see, we get only the best to introduce our movies. Please help me welcome Dr. Douglas Arnell Williams to introduce Siren of the Tropics.
Thank you, Chaz. You guys look great. Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. Évidemment, as Madame Z would say when I was taking French in high school. And that's about as far as I can go with my French. But today, it's a delight and pleasure to be here. I want to thank all the people who have put this together, coming through a pandemic. Everyone from Renee Baker, who we will speak with at the latter part of the program, to the volunteers. I used to volunteer here. And my experience started as a student. Betsy Hendrick of Hendrick House gave out free tickets. And we thought it was so great to come to this event. And I haven't stopped coming. And it's nice to be on program at this time. I see a couple of things. You know, as a PhD, you do some research. So I was like, let me look a few things up. And so I'm not just sharing my general opinion, which I have many, but I won't belabor you with that. But Les Siren des Tropics is directed by Mario Nalpaz and Henry Etai-Vant. I'm probably slaying the name, but they are not here, so, you know. But nonetheless, I thought I'd pick up some words from that time period, and this is a quote from the New York Amsterdam News, one of the African American papers at the time in 1929, because it didn't show in the States until in New York. It was debuted 2 years after it debuted in France. They said, "From across the sea comes an ominous rumble of thunder. The dark cloud of hope on this horizon is Josephine Baker, and we will give you now Sirens of the Tropics."